Hi, I'm Pat from Challenger Design. Today we're going to show you how to assemble and install our outdoor kitchen cabinets with this custom island. The first thing you want to do is pull all your components out of the boxes and inventory everything and make sure you have everything for the job that you're going to do. All the cabinets and everything, inspect them well, make sure there's no shipping damage of any kind, and make sure that the doors and drawers, everything looks correct before you start to assemble everything. So what we'll do is we'll start by pulling the drawers and the door off of this cabinet right here. So to release the drawer box from the cabinet, you'll have to pull on this lever right here to release this section of the slide from your drawer box slide. So you will just move it like that. Always set them off into a safe spot where they're not going to get damaged. Go on the very back side of the hinge and unclip it from the plate that will stay with the cabinet itself. And then set the door off to the side where it won't get damaged. What I prefer to do is to pre-drill the cabinets and getting them ready to screw them together. So what I did here is I went down through and I determined where I wanted my holes, and I just went up the line and pre-drilled this cabinet here front and back, because that's you're going to screw it together on the back panel and the front panel. On the frame itself, that's what you're going to screw to. So what you want to do when you're determining where your screws are going to go is you want them in a area that's not going to interfere with anything as far as the interior of the box, like your slides, maybe shelf components, and over here you want to stay away from your hinge brackets too. So you want to offset your screw hole from components like this on the interior cabinet, just so you have access to it. So once you have everything pre-drilled and you're set and you're ready to go, what you'll do is you'll stack up your cabinets, leveling them so they're lined up with each other in this manner right here, as far as height and up and down, so they easily sit together. Now how you get it level, our legs at the bottom, you can turn in and out to go up or down. So that's what you do to get them coincide with each other as far as the same height with each other before you're getting ready to screw them together. So once you're set and you're pretty happy with your height, what you'll do is you'll come in here with a quick clamp, and what you're going to do is you're going to clamp your frame together so it's flush. So that's where you're going to start right there. You can either start at the top or the bottom, it really doesn't matter. So with your predetermined hole already set on the inside of this cabinet here, you'll run a screw through this into the other frame. And just move your clamp on up to the next hole, to that area. Make sure your frame is flush, clamp it together, and run a screw into that hole too. And a lot of times you can just hold your finger on the front and you can feel whether they're flat or not on the face of the cabinets. And then run your last one up at the top. Any more than 3 screws, really, it's overkill. You really wouldn't have to do any more than that, but that's definitely up to you. So in the back of the cabinets, you may want to come in here and loosen this side panel on this cabinet right here with these screws right here where it's connected to the frame itself. You'll come in and you'll actually loosen that, and then you could get a little bit of play in your frame so your depth from front to back is exactly the same. And again, once you got your depth set, it'll stay flush. You run a screw in there. Same as you did on the front of the cabinet, you'll do exactly the same on the back of the cabinet. And once those screws are tight, you can go back and just snug up your side panel. You don't have to over tighten it, just snug it up real well. Okay, one of the options you do have is a decorative post side panel that we're going to install on this particular island here. So what I'll do is I'll go through and kind of show you how to add on an overhang panel with a decorative in on there. Once I get it screwed together, it'll make a lot more sense. Now, the same thing we did on the cabinets as I'll do here, and this is just what I prefer to do, is to pre-drill the one side of the frame. And again, you'll only drill the one side, not both sides, because the self-tapping screw will drill its own hole in the other frame, same as on the other cabinet. So the best way to do this is, again, with a quick clamp. And what you'll want to do, you can see the notch right there where the frame will fit into. So you'll bring it flush against that corner right there and flush at the top right there. Take your quick clamp and you'll just clamp that and hold it so it's in place right there. Then you'll just run your screw through your predetermined hole, or your hole that you drilled in your frame here, not in your post, just in your frame, because your self-tapping screw will make its own hole into this. And you'll run those screws in like that, and that will hold it in place. And you just work right on down the line to your next hole, clamp it up, run your screw in there, move it down to your next hole, just like that. Now as you're running them down, you want to make sure that you're tight against the frame right here inside your decorative post. Frame against that corner right there. So this is a side panel that's going to go on this island right here, and these are decorative posts, and we just added on the overhang panel in decorative posts. The overhang is for the countertop if it overhangs the back side of the island. So what you do again is what I did, the same thing as when I screwed the cabinets together. I did pre-drill holes in the side of the cabinet. Now again, you will not drill holes in your decorative posts, just through the cabinet, because the self-tapping screw will make that hole in the decorative post itself. So before you set and screw the side panel fast, what you're going to want to do is put a collar on the bottom side of each decorative post. And what that does is that it enables it to slip down over the top and cover up your adjustment leg down here. And again, that just slips over just like that. So you'll want to slip them on each post as you get ready to screw it on. And they all have a hole in them too, so you'll want to turn that to the back side, or the place where it's going to least likely be seen. So once you have it all assembled and your collar's on the bottom of the decorative post, you just line it up with the side of the cabinet. So you can see there's an unfinished side right here. That corner right there is going to fit tight against your frame right there. And again, you'll use your quick clamps to bring that into where it needs to be. And you can adjust your legs at the bottom of the decorative post if you need a height adjustment to bring everything up to the same height as the cabinet. So as you see right here, I'm going to take it down to where it needs to be. Again, you'll use your quick clamp to clamp it into place, and then you'll run your either top or bottom, wherever you want to start. Run your first screw in, and then from there you just work your way right on down to the next screw hole. Okay, now that's on the front. We'll repeat the same process on the back side. And again, by putting the pre-drilled holes in a good spot where you got good access to it helps a lot, like not behind one of the shelf clips or in behind one of your drawer slides. Okay, now on all of our cabinets, it comes from the factory with a gasket on the top of each separate unit. So when you lay the countertop on there, you get a good seal from the moisture. So here's our countertop for this particular unit. This is the bottom side of it. So the tubing that you see in here is strategically put so when you run screws up through the top flange of the cabinets that you have something to screw to. But this particular countertop comes in two pieces like you see here. So it comes with hardware to bolt the two pieces together, and then you can lay it onto the cabinets and screw them fast from there. So again, the holes are predetermined. You just take a 1/4 bolt, run it through the hole, and just finger tighten them. The holes are oversized a little bit, so you've got a little bit of play with it to get everything flushed up to where you want it. Okay, so what you'll do, start out here on the front, and you can feel when it's flushed up. And from there, you'll just start to tighten up your bolts, just good and snug. Now, aluminum countertop like this is fairly light, but you may want to have a little bit of help to get the countertop from here on top of the cabinets. Once you get your countertop laid on top of your cabinets, what you want to do, we'll have where the decorative corners are, it'll be a 1/2 inch overhang. So what you'll do is get it all lined up. Your countertop and your skirt cutout will line up perfectly on either side of that. So that's a good reference point to start. Measure your 1/2 inch overhang at your decorative corners, and you can do them on the sides and across the front to get everything squared up on there. Now after that, what you're going to do is go up on the flange of the top side of the cabinets and screw up through those into the tubing on the bottom side of the countertop, and that's what will hold your countertop on your cabinets. I'd put 4 screws into the countertop through the top flange of the cabinet. It doesn't take a huge amount of screws to hold it down, especially once your appliance is in, the weight and everything's gonna hold it down. Generally, this should take you 2 to 3 hours to put this project together, depending on your skill set. But at this stage, once you have everything screwed together, you're comfortable with that, it's time to reinstall the doors and the drawers to it and your appliances. So we're gonna reinstall the drawer box. We're going to pull the slides out of the cabinet itself, extend them all the way. Now the roller carriage here, you want to extend that all the way to the outside on both sides. So you'll hold the drawer box up, you will start the drawer box member to the cabinet member of the slide and just get it started on there. You'll do the same thing on both sides, just get it started on there. Literally the drawer box sits there by itself. Now what you'll do is you will hold on to the slide member of the cabinet itself. Using your leg, hold on both sides, just push it in and you'll hear a click because it's going to go past that catch. Just like that. You'll reinstall your door. What you'll do is you will line up that pin right there, and that will line up with your indentation for your pin to receive it right here.